Come with us now, if you dare, down a rickety staircase into a dank, dark basement. What awaits? The Saturday Night Freak Show.
Hey, thanks for listening to the Saturday Night Freak Show podcast, the movie review and talk show podcast that comes your way every Saturday. And we want to remind you that it's time to vote. Yes, it is that time of year. You're going to get 1 week to vote on the submissions that you suggested for us to watch in January of the new year, 2026. That's right. It's almost upon us. So head on over to wherever you found us on our social medias. I suppose we should say where that is.
Sure.
On Facebook.
Facebook.com/Saturday Night Freak Show.
On X.
At Sat Freak Show.
This was not on email, but it's also on our Instagram at Saturday Night Freak Show. So please vote.
Please vote.
These are the Internet Radio Superstars.
Michaela.
Sean.
And I'm Colin, and tonight we watched a movie that was chosen by
Sean. What did we watch tonight?
Tonight we watched Gremlins 2, The New Batch.
From the year
1990.
and directed by
Joe Dante.
who we would know from directing.
I mean, Joe Dante is...
Didn't he direct the first one?
I think
right? Gremlins.
the first one.
Yeah.
I think we need to appreciate Joe Dante more. I'm going to go over his directorial efforts. Hold on, where the fuck is
Well, Piranha,
Yeah.
The Howling,
it? Yep.
Inner Space.
You know what? I actually am going to say he's appropriately apprecited, Sean. I disagrue with you on that. I think people celebrate him a lot.
Do you think so?
I think so.
I could be wrong.
Outside of horror circles, he is like, I don't know if he's really a horror guy,
Hollywood
but
Boulevard, Grand Theft Auto, Piranha in 78, Rock and Roll High School, The Howling, Twilight Zone the movie, Gremlins, Explorers, if you haven't seen that one.
All right.
Inner Space, which is, again, have you seen Inner Space?
Yeah.
We'll go watch Inner Space. It's a good one.
Yeah.
Great effects work as well. Amazon Women on the Moon. That was a partial
segment,
director.
Yeah,
that was
same with
partial.
Twilight Zone. Twilight Zone, he did the.
I was gonna say which
Imagine
The
stuff.
Burbs.
oh, that one
Oh,
was
Burbs.
that was
Goddamn
the
classic.
second best one in that one.
That was Joe Dante's.
Yeah. That crazy rabbit that pops out of that hat is terrifying in
Yeah.
that segment.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Always
Little
terrifying.
Shop of Horrors is right.
Yeah, these are all cult movies, so I think he's pretty well
No, he
appreciated.
didn't. No, that was Frank Oz.
Yeah. Matinee, which I didn't know he directed in 1993.
Matinee's great.
Yeah, I gotta watch that one. 5-year break there. Small Soldiers.
Right.
That's one of my favorites. That's just a fun movie. And watching this one tonight, you can kind of see what he took from directing these two movies, and then also directing Small Soldiers.
Yeah.
And with just actual tiny soldiers and how he shot that. Looney Tunes back in action, which is what Colin was asking me earlier if he did a Looney Tunes movie. He did. Was that the Brendan Fraser
Yeah.
Looney Tunes movie? Oh, that's just, I don't know. Making a Looney Tunes movie seems like a sad proposition for most. People involved.
Was it? I mean, here's my thing with Joe Dante, right? Joe Dante, started off with these Roger Corman movies, and then he graduated to the Steven Spielberg, right? Like it was
He did a lot of
him,
TV too.
Robert Zemeckis,
Yeah.
right? Were these guys that you associated with like Amblin and Steven Spielberg, the big budgets. I mean, Spielberg was a producer on Gremlins, right?
Yep.
And then at some point, it feels like Joe Dante does, and maybe this is why you're saying we need to give, some props to Joe Dante. It's like at some point it just seems like he fades. Like the last thing I think I saw there was a Joe Dante movie was The Whole 3D. Did you see this?
I have not seen it.
Which, I mean, it's not a bad movie, but it's, like it was one of those direct to video, I mean, it was in 3D, so I guess it played in theaters somewhere. And I'm like, was that the end of... Like he was part of the Trailers from Hell thing. If you're familiar with Trailers from Hell, the commentary on
isn't that Mick Garris?
Yeah. And, well, I don't
Does
think
he do part? He's been on there, but Joe Dante does the Trailers from Hell. He does it on different Blu-rays. I've seen him on.
Yeah,
where he does
because
it.
there was
Yeah,
a
you're right.
website where they would do, but like he had a lot to do with that. It felt like
Yes.
And maybe that was just like retirement. Like you do these kind of things in retirement, and hung out with the fanboys of horror. The Mick Garris's and. The masters of horror. I think he probably did a couple episodes. He did, right? He did Homecoming.
Yep.
Wasn't that from the season 1 of Masters of Horror? And
Yep.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. I never watched a single Masters of Horror.
You should watch them.
Screwfly Solution might have been one of his from. Was it the
I'm not
second
saying
or-
they're good, but I'm saying you should watch them.
Yeah. I think once I'm just like, man, I have exhausted all of my movies from these directors.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll go find their minor efforts
Mm-hmm.
in that.
Some of them are good, you know.
The poster for Joe Dante's The Hole doesn't look
It looks really bad.
great.
It
No.
wasn't a bad movie because it ends up in a place that reminded me of that Twilight Zone episode, actually. I mean, there is,
Nice.
you know, effects work and stuff like that in it, you know, worth seeing probably if you know. But yeah, what happened to, like, where did it was like the Small Soldiers and Looney Tunes and then
Now he just comments on everything.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I suppose it's a good place to be. You have
Not bad.
contributed to 80s fantasy cinema in
Yeah.
like a major way.
Yeah.
Gremlins 2,
Gremlins 2.
right? Like the first one's kind of a horror movie.
Definitely, I would say so. Far more than this one.
This is where my question starts already with
Ooh,
these.
yes.
Okay,
Go for it.
I'm not very Gremlins versed. I've seen the first one like twice, and it's just not something I grew up with or I watch regularly. And this is the first time I've seen this one.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Love
All
that.
right.
Are these movies for children or adults?
Yes.
So the first one,
I can't tell.
the first one came out in 1984.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
1984, and so the way I remember it,
And it was
growing up through it,
PG, which is important.
yes, because this Gremlins was always included in that discussion about like these movies are too intense for the PG rating. They're not quite intense enough for R, and so they kept on saying like it was Gremlins, Indiana Jones, and the Temple of Doom. I don't remember if there was another one that they kept, and then
was
eventually
one other one.
they created the PG-13 rating.
Yeah.
So that's how I remember. You know, like, the PG-13 came about after Gremlins, but it was like because of these
Gotcha.
Gremlins type of
Yes.
movies. So, I
First
mean,
one's
kids
more
in the
horror
first
adult.
time, the first one, kids watch. I mean, like the audience was, you know, I guess my age group. You know, what would I have been? Like 9, 10 in 1984. Would have loved it. You know,
Yeah.
I ate that shit up.
Yeah. I think it covers both grounds. I think this one covers more of a child ground. I mean, the movie does start with a Warner Brothers cartoon
Yeah.
to open it, which
That was strange.
Which was substantially cut down. There's a longer version of it. It's on the Blu-ray. But they put it in front of the movie because they wanted you to know this is what this movie is going to be.
So it just I've only, like I said, I've only seen the first one twice. Does that one break the fourth wall a bunch?
No, not at
That's
all.
unique to this movie. Okay.
Not a bunch. I think, does it break it in the theater? Did they do a little?
I feel like they're already breaking it with this intro right here.
No, and the first one, oh wait, what are we talking about? This movie?
I'm
This
saying-
movie breaks.
Yeah.
No,
No,
I'm
he's
saying
talking about the first
I'm saying does the first one
No.
do that as many times as the like
No,
this
the
one does?
first one, like when you watch it, it is like it's got the plot, and it's got the plot of a horror movie.
Mhm.
You know, the atmosphere of a horror
Mhm.
movie, but it has like these cutesy special effects, and then these, you know, I wouldn't say completely gory, but you know the reptilian slimy
Right.
special effects,
Yeah, very gooey.
and it has
That's
a
gooey,
mean
yeah.
streak.
Mhm.
It is meaner. It is a
Mhm.
meaner
Yeah.
movie. This one's more goofy. Again, this one's more cartoonish. If you couldn't tell. Also, the budget is the reason Joe Dante, because this is like 5-6 years between Gremlins 1 and Gremlins 2. Warner Brothers wants to make a sequel. They go to a bunch of people. No one really wants to do it. Joe Dante doesn't even really want to do it. He turns it down a couple times, but then they come back to him and they're like, because they couldn't figure out how to do it without him. Like the people who were in charge of this didn't understand it, why it was such a big hit, or how to like make another one. So they go back to Joe Dante and they're like, you can have complete creative control and we'll triple your budget from the first one. And Joe Dante's like, I'm in. And so
Did
with
he know
that,
what he was going to do at that point, or just
I think we saw it. He wanted to do more so of the kind of meta version of it, as we see in this, talking about the first one, making fun of it more, which they do in this. He wanted to be obviously a little goofier and on a bigger scale, as we see with the actual Gremlins and how many there are in this movie, and their how different they are throughout the movie. That's how they also got Rick Baker to do the effects for this movie.
that kind of surprised me?
Yeah.
Because I guess the first movie, it was Chris Wallace, the
Yeah.
guy who did the makeup effects for The Fly,
Yeah.
you know, 2 years after Gremlins. And then Wallace graduated to director. He did The Fly 2, I think, in 1988. So this is 2 years after that. It's like, how come he didn't come back? It's like Rick Baker, a completely different makeup effects guy, comes in and takes over and does all of the, the thing that you're known for, Chris Wallace, is the Gremlins.
Right.
And Rick Baker is a producer on this movie also, and just ups the scale in, just mind-boggling kind of ways with the budget.
Yeah. Yeah, look at all the different Gremlins you get in this one. They're mostly similar in the first one. This one you get different colors, far more different characteristics, almost caricatures at this point. You get the goofy ones. The one who looks like a mob boss, always smoking a cigar.
I love that one.
The one who's like, who, with the buck teeth and everything. Reminds me of like the Nutty Professor.
Yeah, because all I remember from the first one was like Stripe or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
Stripe's the big differentiator, and the rest kind of fall in line on a certain look. This one, they run the gamut, and they're far more, far more articulate, far more articulate in the face. Again, more cartoony in this one. But I think that's exactly what they were going for, and that's kind of the fun of this movie. I mean, like, what can we do? We turn one into lightning.
Yeah.
We turn it into electricity.
Yeah, I mean, it's nuts. It's nuts. Eventually it reaches, but I think the first one also kind of like, the template is kind of there that, it's like you're going to have these things and they're going to exponentially increase and eventually it's going to overtake. I guess in the first one, a town, things go to chaos. Yes. And that's the scenes in the first one where these mischievous gremlins are just doing everything. And it's like, we're going to do that like times 10.
Yep. We're in New York. We're going for it.
We're in one building in New York.
We're in one building in New York and then a back lot for a lot of it.
Well, they shoot Times Square. There was...
Yeah, but the Gremlins are restricted to one building.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Gremlins are not going to go to Times Square and not going to do all the things you expect in a... I will say,
they can only do so much.
In his defense, it's not called Gremlins Take New York.
Right,
so they didn't, they didn't lie to us, but
very true.
But there's scenes where the main characters are running down streets of New York. I mean, it still has like that budget of like, wow, they went and closed off streets so they could film, big, scene setting moments in New York City.
Yeah. And this building that they're in for most of the movie is no slouch either. Like, they built it is a character in and of itself. It's supposed to be like the most advanced technological building in New York.
It's so cool. I want to work here. These two complaining about their jobs, I'm sorry, it doesn't seem that bad. We are all people that have worked in an office for a very long time, never worked in anything even close to this awesome. Like it's basically an office, but also a mall at the same time.
Yeah, it's got a concourse. I think it's got a nightclub.
There was a Spencer's Gifts. Yeah, and there was a nightclub too. Yeah,
they come in like it's after midnight. I'm like, why are there 100 people in this lobby?
Yeah,
just going nuts. Still, it's just like, wow, this is the office building of the future,
like a self-contained city,
right? Run by
Daniel Clamp.
Donald J. Clamp, basically.
Donald J. Clamp, it's not subtle.
It's Daniel R. Clamp, which is, so we have a one-to-one of
I remember mogul of the time. At the time, like that kind of was, as I was telling you where we were watching, it's like that was kind of the public opinion of the guy. So it's like, of course, it's like he's going to be the real estate developer. I guess what I...
with a great logo.
Yeah.
The sea clamping and squeezing the earth.
I love the statue outside that spins with the earth. Bring back that kind of like ostentatious architecture. I'm just saying, like, I work in an office and I see none of these cool things. Like,
right? I want to see more things spinning outside of the building.
If I'm gonna have to go there, at least make the environment pleasant to be in. You know,
like New Scotland Yard.
Yeah, that one's really cool too. Yes.
I'd take this building in a heartbeat.
Right.
And so you're saying, so I guess when we first walked into it, right, I was like, okay, this thing is huge. We filmed this on a location somewhere. But I mean, by the end of it, this is a set. This whole thing is a set. It's one of the biggest sets that I think I've ever seen in a movie. It was like, holy fuck, this is huge.
It's big. They went for it. Not a digital set in sight. Like,
it's so nice.
It's so nice.
Yeah. The lobby itself is, I mean, I don't know how many hundreds of square feet this thing is and built up. I mean, it's like impressive.
Yeah. Production design is very good.
So the first Gremlins, if I recall, the Mogwai was gifted to Billy, and that's
the little kid sells the Mogwai to Billy, and they end up taking it home, and then chaos ensues.
And at the end of it, the Mogwai ends up going back to Chinatown,
Right, with Key Luke.
Yep. And so that's where we're going to start. And it's tearful and sad, but
Right.
you realize that this is a power you can't control. You gotta,
Yeah.
It's Zach. Oh crap! What's his
Galligan?
Zach Galligan is the actor who's like from Gremlins. I mean, like
And Waxwork.
That's right. He
And
did
Waxwork. That's
Good pull.
yeah.
I wouldn't have been able to say anything
I
else.
remember. And because I was thinking as I was watching, I'm like, his acting has improved a lot since Waxwork. Waxwork was pretty rough, but he's got it together here. I kind of wish more had happened for him career wise because I do like him, but
Yeah.
I mean, this is probably pretty good. He's on the convention circuit all the time. So
Is he now? Yeah, I know, and it seems like he's part of the lobby for like Gremlins 3.
I was going to say, and probably coming back for Gremlins 3, which was just announced not too long
Was
ago.
it serious?
You
Like
don't need
serious?
it.
I think seriously, yeah, it was announced.
Because I hear everything is announced now, so I don't know what's serious.
Well, I mean,
and
that's the
what
thing.
isn't.
Right.
It was announced, which means nothing. That's like them saying, like, the release date is this. I'm
Yeah.
just like, okay, well, that will change just
Do
because
they
you
Announce
a release
movies
date.
just to see if there's
Yes.
just to
interest?
gauge. Oh, absolutely.
guaranteed
Yeah.
they do. Let's see, what is the, will this make headway? Will we see online go nuts for it? It's like, Gremlins 3, what is the reaction? And then there's like, all right, let's plow forward.
I mean, it's a lot of years later now that for bringing
It
that
is.
back.
I mean, and they were concerned with making this sequel 5 years later. They're just like, is the interest still there for Gremlins? Yeah, kind of.
How did it do? I remember seeing this with a packed theater in 1990. I
think-
assume it did well.
It did. I think it made about
Here, I got the
50
Wikipedia up.
million.
Budget was between 30 and 50 million. Box office 41.5 million. So not
Probably didn't
great.
clear its budget,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
That does kind of surprise me.
What do you think the modern day appetite for Gremlins is? Do you think?
Nostalgia.
It feels like it, doesn't it?
I was
Yeah,
gonna say.
I don't think
as
they
someone
don't-
who didn't grow up with it, I don't think it's there. Yeah.
and I don't see much anything out there because there's certain icons of moviedom that still you walk into a random Target and you go to a certain section, you're like, there's a representation of all these movies and pop culture figures. Gremlins, I don't see too much.
No.
Yeah, I don't think they have like a Spirit Halloween corner, right?
No.
Yeah,
They don't.
Yeah.
I see NECA figures every
Yeah,
now and
yeah.
then.
Yeah.
But not
they're
too much.
catering to nostalgia. I mean,
Right.
Yes.
when I look at this, you kind of look at it as, a time capsule of 1990s state of the art.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And, but to me, I think kids who have been raised on a different kind of special effect, CG, like it looks like puppets. I mean, I think
Yeah.
it's awesome that they're
Yes.
doing all this practical
Right.
puppet work,
Yeah.
but they do look like puppets. And I
Right.
don't think you could do that if you were to do it again.
If
So then
there's
it's like,
no,
why would I even want to see it?
And for us, part of it is like I'm watching all the articulation in these pups. I'm like, I know exactly what went into getting that done,
Yeah.
which is an appreciation that I have that the people just randomly watching it won't have.
Yeah.
Again, they'll just see puppets and not realize all the work that goes into it. Maybe we know that subconsciously and it ups our appreciation, which I think it does. So when you don't have that there over years of experience of seeing this stuff, it's just like, it's puppets. It's boring.
if
Yeah.
Gremlins 3 does happen, it will not be puppets. It will all be CGI,
Or if it is puppets, I think that,
or they'll be
younger-
augmented with CGI.
Yeah. Which that could be, I guess, the way you solve it. But
Best case scenario, it's like Grogu in The Mandalorian. That is best case scenario, but I don't think it's
Before
even
Babu
getting
Frick,
that.
It was Gizmo.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I hope that they kind of take that kind of.
I mean, that depends on what kind of budget Gremlins 3 is getting. If
Right.
this is like a crowd-funded thing, it's going to be absolute dog shit, you know?
It's got to have a huge.
Yeah,
budget to
exactly.
be, and I don't know.
Mhm.
I look to the resurrection of Critters in the last 5 years ago when the TV show came, and then I think 2 TV shows came from that, and then maybe another short film. Dee Wallace was in it, and it wasn't there wasn't a lot of money behind it. It seemed kind of cheap and everything. I would say look to that as your kind of representation of what they'll probably do with the new Gremlins.
Don't do it.
Unless everyone gets behind it. Joe Dante, they're like, bring Joe Dante back, and then Spielberg gets behind it, but I don't see them putting all that
Well-
into
I
it.
think they've moved on, but I
Yeah.
don't know.
If things go the way they're going, won't this be a property of Netflix in the future.
Right.
So we'll get a Mogwai TV series or some shit like
I'm
that.
sure they got to do
did
something.
have
to keep the
Mogwai.
IPO.
They did have that animated TV series.
Oh, really?
Last year, Mogwai, the new.
These
new
things
something.
happen and
Yeah.
nobody
Yeah,
knows
see?
that
It was a
exists.
whole new. It looked pretty cool.
That's
but
probably to gauge the interest.
I think so. It was one of them. Yeah, what was that called? It was an animated show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see this coming back in a big budget live action form ever.
But I mean, that's, to me, that's okay. Having seen the other ones, I know Gremlins still, gets trotted out around Christmas time. I did see it theatrically, I think during COVID, right? They sent movies to drive-ins, and I saw Gremlins and the Lost Boys.
Nice.
At a drive-in. So it's like there's still some appreciation, at least for the first one. But yeah, I don't know if you need to necessarily. They will mine the property to bring it back. That's all that they do anymore.
HBO show, Gremlins, Secrets of the Mogwai, and the Wild Batch. Like, it's that kind of.
I hate that
so
art
this has
style.
already
It looks
happened. It's already come
disgusting.
back.
Yeah.
2023 is when this all
Yeah.
that came out.
Wow. Okay,
Wow.
didn't even know about this, or if I did, I filed it away and it locked part of my brain.
Yeah, probably.
That definitely looks like it's for kids.
Yeah, that's because look at the animation.
Ooh, I don't. That's ugly. I don't like that.
Kids. Yeah, it is a certain style, which is interesting.
And that was probably them trying to check, like I said, see, is it worth doing pumping a bunch of money into a movie?
Because then we could get another generation if we get them hooked as kids, and then that buys us another 30 years of
does.
content. Yeah.
It will, yeah.
I like that
Let's
it
resurrect the license, and this, like, if it hits, we're good.
It didn't bring back the dad, White Axe, and I think
No.
maybe he had passed away in between. So they bring back Billy and
They did bring back smokeless ashtrays, though. It's part of the Clamp universe. It's like Clamp bought it, so that's pretty funny.
and Phoebe Cates from the first one, and the Futtermans, even though they clearly died in the first
They
one.
got
Right.
run over by a bulldozer in
Yes.
the first one.
Yeah, that's I guess the thing that Joe Dante has that kind of repertory cast that he brings in.
Yeah, because what's his name from The Burbs? Oh shit, I forgot his name. He played one of the annoying neighbor who ate everything.
Was it Steve Odekirk?
No,
it was Bob Odekirk.
no,
it was,
it's what's his name? It's,
I know who you're talking about because he was in it.
Fuck, he's the security guard in this who shoots. Yeah,
But he brings back. I mean, I noticed like the guy who was in the original The Thing. Is that Kenneth Tobey? He was because he was in The Howling as like a police officer, and he was in the he was in this as a janitor or something. I mean, he just keeps bringing these people back. So you're going to get Robert Picardo, you're going to get, I don't know, did he work with
Rick DeCommon.
Who?
Rick DeCommon or Dukeman or
that Rick guy from The Burbs.
From The Burbs. He plays the neighbor on The Burbs. He's in it.
What's his last name?
It's Ducommun. Dukeman? Dukeman?
All right, well, I recognize his face, and he delivered a good performance there. He's a funny guy.
He's from Die Hard. It's like shut it down now. He shuts down the block.
The movie has to contrive to get everybody to New York.
Yes.
Billy has started because he was an artist, I think, in the first one, right? Worked in a bank.
Worked at the bank and was an artist. Yeah.
So now he's graduated to being like an architect or a concept artist for Clamp Industries or whatever. Phoebe Cates' character works there as a tour guide.
Yep.
And the Mogwai, I think, there's that whole thing about like urban redevelopment. That was a big concern in the 80s and the 90s that, we're going to tear down old neighborhoods. The evil corporate dude is going to come in, tear down old neighborhoods and rebuild them and strip them of their character. And so that's what displaces Gizmo.
Yes.
And eventually, somehow, through contrivance, he ends up in like the secret genetic lab.
Yeah, the twins from Terminator 2 grab him in the alleyway and
You
take
say
him back
twins
to
from Terminator 2, and everybody's going, what? There were no twins in Terminator 2?
There were! It was the security officer who gets the, I think he gets a full house on his cup of coffee. And then he gets a needle through the eye from Team 1000 looks just like him. That's two dudes, they're brothers, and they're twins.
That's how you pulled that shit off before, even in the age of CG.
Right.
Yeah, because we had a whole being morph out of the floor, but you still use twins when it's like, why make another one when we just cast twins?
Isn't Linda Hamilton's sister also in Terminator 2, I think, like toward the end?
Indeed she is. She is in the famous deleted scene where they take the chip out of the Terminator's head because they use a mirror that's just a hole in the wall, and so they have to represent that. And then she shows up at the end when T-1000 gets knocked over into the pit.
Yeah, well, she shows up. Yeah, isn't she like the other when the T-1000 pretending to be Sarah Connor? Yeah. So there's a big cast in this movie.
Yes.
The Mogwai or Gizmo, Billy ends up finding him up in the lab and rescues him, and then it's like, okay, how long until there's going to be water spilled on
Eating After Midnight.
Yeah, and we're going to have gremlin chaos. But who are the personalities that we kind of sketch in within the building itself?
One of them is a late night horror host. Love when they show up.
Robert Protsky.
Robert Protsky, who's playing, basically Grandpa Munster. He's playing Dracula, and he hosts a late night horror show. But he's also, they're also bummed that the world is passing old school horror hosts by every time they show up in a movie of this time, between him and then Fright Night.
Which I was like, yeah, preach. I agree. I feel you. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, this is 1990 and the outs and everything. So we have him, like we said, Robert Picardo is playing like the head of security and operations in this place, and he's a very strict person. There's a small potted plant that goes against his rules and regulations of having things in the office. He's very meticulous and particular about this place. I forgot the redhead, and when I say redhead, I mean fucking redhead.
I don't even remember her. Like, I didn't recognize the actress.
I've seen her in a few other things of this era.
Yeah,
never later in the 2000s or anything like that. I don't think.
Right, because she's a significant. She's like the office.
She's the communications. She's part of the communications team. I think of that, or the office manager. She's the boss of. Yeah.
But also like a romantic foil kind of for Phoebe Cates, because she's got her eyes on Billy, and
Phoebe Cates is in this movie. Christopher Lee.
Oh yeah, Chris
is a mad scientist, basically,
as he should be. Love it.
So we do have to. Okay, so MF Mad, the keeper of the Saturday Night Freak Show Wall of Fame, wants to let us know that by this viewing we are putting Christopher Lee. So here we go. This episode
it took this long.
This what puts him on there?
This puts him at 10 movies.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
Really were. I'm like,
what?
No.
Yeah.
So that puts him on a short list with Jeffrey Combs also at 10.
Wow.
Wes Craven at 11, and Peter Jason at 11.
Wow. Okay.
So this
that's
is
impressive.
Not Stallone's Wall of Fame.
It's not Stallone's Wall of Fame. I gotta start bringing more Stallone
Craven
stuff in.
And Peter Jason are at the top.
Who the hell's Peter Jason?
In all the John Carpenter movies.
That's why we've done a lot of those. Yeah.
Have indeed.
But I mean, he's been in other stuff that we've seen too. But yeah.
And Zach Galligan's been on the wall, right? Or does this put him on the wall?
I mean, this would have to.
Yeah, because if original Gremlins was covered,
and
not
then notified,
and then Waxwork,
we didn't do Waxwork 2.
No,
he's in that. Well, this would put him on the wall.
Put him on the wall, yeah.
We are putting Tony Randall on the wall.
Awesome.
Nice. Wait, hold on. What the other? What?
I was like, what are the other two? Yeah.
Well, he's the voice of the brain gremlin in this movie.
He's wonderful.
Yeah.
He was also the Headless Horseman's Jack-o'-lantern, uncredited in the 1949 The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, which we did on a Halloween
cartoon
episode.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And he was Spike/Butch, uncredited in the Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Which we did.
Okay. Wow.
Spike/Butch. Was that one of the? What are the cartoon bad?
It had to be. Yeah, like the thugs that come in.
And, what are their names?
So we've also got going on the wall, Henry Gibson, who you will recognize here as the fellow who gets fired because he takes an unauthorized break. But he was also in The Return of the Killer Tomatoes and The Frighteners. He was the judge in The Frighteners.
Okay.
I don't think that. Oh, sorry. No. I'm looking at the wrong one. That's John Astin. Henry Gibson was in Monster in the Closet and The Burbs, of course. He was Dr. Klopek.
Yes.
In The Burbs.
Klopek.
John Astin,
Sardine,
who plays, I think, the guy who's the janitor who's trying to fix the water fountain in this, who I believe was the original
Gomez
Adams, right?
TV show, yep.
He was in The Return of the Killer Tomatoes and The Frighteners.
Yes,
he was the judge.
The cowboy, the judge, yeah.
Yes. And also John Glover, who played Clamp in this.
Yes.
We saw him in RoboCop 2.
Okay.
where he was the Magnavolt salesman, I think, at the beginning of the movie that in that commercial.
Okay.
And he was in the mouth of madness. He was the doctor at the insane asylum where Sam Neill gets admitted.
Okay.
Boom! Look at that.
There
So
you go.
this movie
quite a list.
capping a lot of like old Hollywood,
Yep.
hardworking actors, well-known folks
Indeed.
onto the wall.
Indeed.
Your certificates are in the mail. So, okay. So Christopher Lee runs the splicing lab.
Yep. Yeah. SOL. Yeah. Splice of Life is what
Splice of
the lab's
And-
called.
The production design of this room is really interesting
It's
too. First of all, I do miss the amount of whimsy we used to have in the world and architecture, because in the 90s shit did look like this. But I love that you point out, Sean, that it looks like a circus tent.
Yeah. The entrance to this laboratory is a curve round, and it's that white and red stripe. And
But you go through a tunnel like you're getting into a tent too, and I love that. And
we're going to a freak show. Come through this way.
Extremely whimsical, just overall design for a place that is doing genetic experiments. Like even the name Splice of Life and like the way their name tags look and everything.
Right.
And then the classic like 90s bright neon green lighting to show you they're doing work in a lab. I love that.
yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The Dutch angles were Dutch angling all over the place.
All
I
over
loved
the
it.
place. So
Love
much
it.
of it.
But that's a Joe Dante thing too, right? Doesn't he do like a lot of? And I'm also like, kind of. It's like he has, like, works these kind of frames that kind of look like German expressionism. Like, I mean, there's like something going back to like the cabinet of Dr.
right.
Caligari.
There's sharp.
in-
There's just sharp angles on everything. This very industrial corporate look to everything. It's all gray. It's all just sharp angles. It's all like postmodern or modern, something like that. It's got that look to it. Harsh lighting, as it were.
And the movie, I guess it doesn't really. It doesn't take itself seriously.
No.
It starts to
because Leonard Maltin shows up to keep giving his review of Gremlins 1. So it's definitely not taking itself seriously.
Yeah, in the middle of the movie, he's reviewing the first
movie.
Gremlins. He hates it, and the Gremlins attack him.
And then the Gremlins kill him.
Yeah,
Like, that's what you want to do. If you've made one movie that got panned by Leonard Maltin, you're like, come to be in the second movie. We'll kill you.
Yeah,
Like,
I
that's
don't know
the
if
fun
he
you should
did.
be
He
having.
pan Gremlins.
He didn't like
I
it.
have to, yeah,
Yeah.
I have to go back. I have his book. Remember,
Yeah.
he used to write that book
Yeah.
every year.
Yeah,
that
every
big
year.
ass-
Yeah. But yeah, I don't think he liked it too much, which is why they had him in this.
So the first part of the movie, I guess, plays relatively straight. I mean, it has a kind of a whimsy to it.
Yeah.
There was also something else I picked up on it, and I don't know if it's because like movies of this era, we always say they're kind of like, the coke fueled era. Things come very fast.
Yes.
There's not much room for character development.
No, they get right into it because this is a monster movie. This is not a character movie.
Do the main characters? Well, I always, I guess you could say that, drug fueled era where we wanted to be as brief as possible compared to now when like people overindulge. See last week's movie.
Yep. Yep.
But I wonder if it's also like these filmmakers grew up with like, His Girl Friday or The Front Page or those, rapid fire,
Right.
Boom, boom, boom.
Howard Hawks movies or something. It's like, I almost think that maybe that has an influence on this.
Yeah, good.
Should we bring this back, or is it too like, there's not much substance here.
I think it depends. It has the benefit of being a sequel, so we've already set up these characters and everything they know.
And this is like a blow off almost, it feels like.
Kind of feels like it for as quickly as they get into the havoc of the creatures and all.
Yeah.
Because you know the characters, you get the returning ones. Everything that you need to know about them is set up pretty quickly. Even like we get a small glimpse of their home life, which is kind of shabby. And, it seems like too low or so lower income or just trying to make it in New York. They both have their jobs. They're striving to do what they can. Yeah.
So it's relying a lot on like types.
I think so.
in order
Types
to
in the whole
make it-
previous movie that we know of.
Yeah, you know who all of these characters are. They all have
Yeah.
something that they want. Even Christopher Lee's character, I think, has an arc.
Yeah, he does.
I'll never touch a live, thing again.
I love when he's like,
specimen again.
he gets the package like, I think it's Ebola, and he's like, he gets something else like, I've already got this. I'm getting flu next week. Like it's very fun for him.
so the Gremlins, I mean, I guess it's, it's like, how fast do we get into this? It feels like
fast.
very quickly.
Very quickly.
Billy is reunited with Gizmo, tries to keep him, sequestered.
Yes.
But soon there's water spilled on him. There's extra Gremlins, mischief.
There's extra Mogwai.
Mogwai, sorry.
You get like three or four Mogwai.
Because in the first one, it seemed like they were all kind of like Gizmo.
That's
in this one, they have distinct personalities.
This one, they are designed to be evil.
And they really seem to make them look uglier on purpose to almost make Gizmo look cuter. But, they're like, Gizmo's the one that makes us money. So, we're going to make sure these are evil. They're going to have naked eyes, flesh-colored eyelids. That's going to make them look like a sick dog,
Yeah. That, and again, we have a whole... They're not trying to pull anything over on us. We have a whole nother movie where we're just like, oh, the things that popped out of Gizmo's back are evil.
Yeah.
And so we know it's going to happen again. We're designing them specifically to be evil. Black and white fur, just more red bloodshot eyes, teeth, evil grins. Like, they are made right off the bat, and just like, what's coming.
Yeah.
We're going to give it to you.
Yeah.
They're going to get loose on the streets of New York. Oh, no. Wait, that won't happen. Nope, that won't happen. That won't happen.
They're going to get loose, and they're going to cause havoc, and you know that, so let's just get to it.
But it doesn't matter if it's in New York if it all stays contained to one building.
Yeah, but they have built the building is so big. I mean, it is like a city in a building.
It's like an apartment building kind of.
No, for sure,
the
but
Gremlins were attacking an apartment.
But our protagonists are telling us they can't get out of this building. Like, they can't run loose on New York.
They
and
do
then
say it a lot.
it never happens.
It's like the front door's the only way out of this building.
Yeah.
There's no loading dock whatsoever in this place. Yeah.
But I mean, the like what eventually happens, it just seems like you have that kind of escalation up to like, oh, things are getting out of control. There's too many Gremlins, or too many Mogwai, and then they eat after midnight.
Yep. And then there's a whole science lab, which is where everything goes.
Yeah, because it goes to, right? Like, first, okay, shit, now we've got the green ones.
Yep.
The Gremlins are birthed, and there's still only, I think, like 5 of them at that point.
And they're causing a little havoc, and
And then they get, I think they start a fire on Marge with a microwave. What's this, the TV show?
Marge Microwaves, or Microwave with Marge.
Yeah, microwave cooking.
Yeah. There's a lot of throwaway gags in this.
Yeah.
What was the TV show, the Archery Channel?
Yeah, we're fucking
Robin
Hood's coming out of it. Yeah.
Breaks it. It's like, what
just a lot of little sight gags in this movie. There's also a lot of audio gags with the voice of the building.
Yeah.
Who's just like, the building's on fire. You should leave now.
Yeah.
Flee, so you do not burn to death, and stuff like that. Just like the messaging, if you listen to it, is really, really funny throughout this movie.
Because it is like a smart building. Like, there's technology in this building that isn't available elsewhere because, he's a mega rich real estate developer.
Right.
Like the paper shredder built into the desk.
Paper shredder built into the desk.
Real dangerous idea. Just an open blade right on the surface of your desk. Yeah.
There's video calling.
Yep.
Yeah, back in 1990 when that wasn't a thing.
Isn't it funny, as a society, we used to think that was how we wanted to communicate, and now if someone FaceTimes me, I'm like, why? Yeah.
You don't think of the magic, like, it was like Get Smart, right?
Yeah.
Watching having a conversation with somebody on your phone, and now that's like,
I do try and talk through my shoe as often as I can.
Like, you cannot just cold FaceTime someone. That is so inappropriate and invasive. Like, you don't know what they're doing or where they're at. Like,
no, it's that sound, and then the sound of like any Teams call.
The Teams call.
Please stop.
The Teams call sound. You hear that in my nightmares. Yeah.
But yeah,
it's just cute that we thought that was ideal.
It's got that fun bathroom thing where if you don't move around, the lights go off. You ever get stuck in
my
the
office does that.
Hey, buddy, welcome to the men's room.
Yeah.
Welcome to the men's room.
Yeah.
But it's the idea that nothing works. I think that's also like part of the running gag. It's like there's all this technology and none of it works.
I love it.
And then the splicing, I think, so the Gremlins show up, and then they
blow up on Marge's microwave thing. They put a lot of shit in the microwave and they blow it up, which starts the sprinkler system, which is basically the pool scene from the first one. We get the glowing red and lights and the fog and everything, and we know there's like, oh shit, a lot more Gremlins are coming.
Yeah. And then
they'll find their way to the lab.
But then it's like the tone of the movie really does it change here? It's had this tone the whole way, but it just starts to go insane. Like, the movie itself like just starts throwing shit at you that is just these visual sight gags at a pace that like rivals like the Airplane movies or, you know, the Zucker Brothers movies or something. I mean, there's like so much, and so much is like based on pop culture of like 1990. So that's why I wonder, like, you know, does this movie play now? Because it's referencing like a TV commercial, you know, from 1990 or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The one that really took me out of it, and I was like, whoa, was the Marathon Man quote.
Yeah.
Is it safe? I was like, what? And that's when I was like, okay, who is this movie for? Because I was like, that's a very, I mean, not only of the time, but that's a very adult movie too, you know? So
yes,
that's, that one really surprised me.
Yeah. I mean, they're throwing stuff out like.
It's like non sequitur comedy with these things.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll cut to a thing with a gremlin and it just happens for, 45 seconds and then it cuts away to some other random thing happening. You're just like, oh, okay. It's funny because it's just a random gag, but
why?
Yeah, we get a lot
of
of
a full recreation of a scene from the 1929 Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah.
And then you start asking little questions like, where do the gremlins get little work shirts and hard hats? Because for one 15-second scene, a dude's messing with an electrical box, and we have to dress the gremlin up as a construction worker. It's just like, how did this come together? And they're just like, we're not concerned with that. We're concerned with making, like, this is funny. We're going to go for it.
Didn't they do that in the first one, though, where the gremlins, they all had, like, I mean, the attention to detail is just, I mean, they're creating little characters with, like, every single one of them.
Yep.
And eventually, when these things get loose, I mean, the scale of it
Puppets
cannot be
everywhere.
undersold. I mean, there could be some trickery.
There
going
isn't,
in there.
like, I saw like 2 shots of trickery where it's just like, all right, we've digitally taken the crowd of gremlins and we've multiplied it maybe once or twice to make the crowd look bigger. But I didn't see a lot of that. I saw a lot of puppets.
Because even digitally, I don't know that you could do. This is probably like back in the photochemical matte work days. Because Terminator 2 hasn't even happened yet. I guess the Abyss has, but I mean, I don't know if we were there yet.
Right, which is why I don't see a lot of it in this movie, and they kind of kept it pretty straightforward. They're just like, we're going to need a lot of
blue
puppets.
Screen work. A
Yeah.
lot of blue.
There is
and
for some
optical
stuff.
printing
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Which
Yeah,
doesn't look too bad. You can see it, but it doesn't look too bad.
yeah. Yeah, I was just sitting there just going like, oh my God, there's so many. I mean, like, there's so much in every frame that your eyes just can't take it all in. I mean,
Right.
you would have to pause to see everything that's going on. But it's staggering. So the plot of the movie, right, is Billy somehow has to prevent the gremlin apocalypse.
Right.
Right.
Basically, when it gets, we don't want them to leave the building when it gets dark outside. They'll realize it's dark and then go spread throughout New York City, and then we'll never stop it.
Yeah.
So we got to stop them here in this building.
And he gets sidelined, I think, at some point.
In the dentist's office.
Well, doesn't he gets taken out to dinner by his coworker or the boss?
Yeah, and they
And
go
then-
to the Canadian restaurant.
I want to go here.
Yeah, this is McCann's new favorite restaurant.
This is maybe this is the funniest gag for me too. Is like it is like Canadian Rainforest Cafe.
Yeah.
And the like the big the sight gag of the big like wooden tree like beer stein that he picked up was so big, and I was just I don't know, this place looked fun. I wish it was real. I want to go here.
Sure
Bring back
somewhere.
more
There's
like
Mounties bringing you chocolate mousse, which is a chocolate mousse.
Yes.
Like an antler.
Yes, themed restaurants are dying, and they're going to be a thing of the past soon. And like, man, only in the 90s could an idea like that be a successful rrestaurant. And I love it.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny.
It's so
'cause
good.
Nobody acknowledges it.
No,
that's what
no.
makes it funny.
No, because they're sitting at a table and there's a giant like deer in the middle of them. They have to kind of like look around and talk
Well,
to each
and it's funny. It's on its own, but it's even funnier to think about. Just think about being at work and going to Rainforest Cafe for lunch and then coming back to work after that, because that's what they did.
Yeah.
What you guys do? Just run around for it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I think at some point he also tries to break into and shut the water main off, and then he's arrested, right? And that's why when the gestation period takes place, and he comes back to work. I think it's then the splicing lab stuff happens.
Yep.
So what they're setting up is, you can't just have just straight gremlins. You have seen that before in the last movie. So in order to up the ante, they're going to, drink all these beakers or test tubes.
Right, because every science experiment that they're doing in here, like the gremlins are going to get a hold of it, and we're going to turn them into different creatures. We get, we get vegetable gremlin, we get brain gremlin, we get bat gremlin, we get spider gremlin,
Electric gremlin,
which is like, that's when you know you're just like, okay.
They do set all of these up.
They do.
First, which I appreciated, the fact that you see each one of like, oh, these are rats. That we're going to give them some kind of juice and they're going to power.
Right, now they're electric.
We're going to put them in flashlights.
Oh, he's gotten a hold of my vegetable growing formula. And then I love when the vegetables start popping up in the gremlin's face because they pop up as like a tomato, a pepper, and then as you cut away, you cut back, his ears are lettuce.
It's pretty cool.
Fun.
And then there was a payoff to that they even had where later on during all the chaos, like one of the gremlins peels, I think, an olive off of that gremlin's face to use in a martini.
Oh, in his martini. Yeah, little things like that, and it's happening all throughout this movie.
The bat gremlin ends up like flying out through a window. I think because the brain gremlin all of a sudden starts talking.
He's like, oh, medical sunscreen, and he's just like, we're gonna send you out into the world, but he's very complex in his dialogue, and he does end up stabbing the bat one, who's just like, you'll be protected outside in the sun, and then he flies off through a window, and the bat symbol, which is like, that's every cartoon running through a wall.
Yes,
that perfect outline of their shape.
But Batman had just come out the year before, right? So Warner Brothers was milking it.
Oh, yeah.
I think there was some, one gremlin gave another gremlin a Warner Brothers shield tattoo.
Yep, they're tattooing. Yep, he's got a Warner Brothers tattoo. Yeah.
It was just like mass chaos. But I mean, it's creative stuff. They're
creative.
coming up with these like little one-offs.
The bat escapes and ends up attacking Mr. Futterman.
That's how they work
on the street.
Their subplot back into the movie, right? The Futtermans are back in town having survived this. That happened in the first movie, and now they have to deal with gremlins again out on the streets of New York.
Yep.
And then that gremlin, it's funny.
I love that.
He douses it in, there's a construction crew, douses it in cement, and it flies up on the...
Right, and becomes a gargoyle on top
the
of
cathedral.
Yeah. I love that.
I know, that's good stuff.
I think New York should put that gremlin on that building. But, but that's fun stuff. It's just, it's little stuff like that that makes me appreciate this movie.
And all of the characters, like if we follow their arcs through the people that we talked about that we introduced in the movie, how do they all have like concluding arcs?
Let's Billy and what's her name? Phoebe Cates' character?
I should know this.
We should all know this.
I know, because she was in the...
Kate?
I think it's just Kate,
I think it's Kate.
It's Kate?
He just says honey so much in the movie.
Yeah, so much.
Honey is a lot. But yeah. I mean, there's that whole kind of love triangle there for a little bit. They end up fighting off Spider Gremlin.
Love triangle, and they're engaged, right?
Yeah.
So this is like...
Yeah. It's
like what
it's a mistake. It's coincidence.
Uh-huh.
It's the situation.
He treats her like shit, and she just puts up with it.
They went out of their way in the dialogue and the plotting to make it like he was forced into that situation. She wanted to see what was in the drawer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He wanted to keep the drawer closed. Like, okay, fine, I'll go to dinner with you. Just didn't, so you don't find my mogwai.
Yep. Clamp has a whole arc of, because Clamp comes in and out of this. He's like supposed to be like, he's the big corporate bad guy, but he's also just like, I could save everyone. Like he gets a moment where he can just be like, I can do the right thing for once, and it'll really help. But the whole process is like, if I do this, it'll really help sell everything that I'm trying to sell.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, he's still looking at.
He's
like,
still a businessman.
We can turn this into whatever.
Right.
We could turn this into a profit somewhere.
But I do remember that like standing out. Again, I was a kid when I whatever 15 years old or something when I saw this.
Plus, the actor is just such a magnetic character. That you just kind of like.
But the way he plays it is like. Oh wow! Gee willikers!
It's a little puppy dog. It's a little golden retriever. It's like, like if he came down and saw everybody, he'd be like, "People are great!" Like he stands up in his tower, like, "I hate people," and then he comes down, and is like, "You people are awesome."
Yeah, that was a surprise, I guess, because at the beginning you're like, "Okay, I got this peg. He's the redeveloping, and so he's the bad guy." But it's actually Robert Picardo is more like the actual bad guy.
Yeah.
Clamp actually has like a thing where he's going to help out and try and save the city by what was his plan? Or it was Billy's plan.
It was Billy's plan. Well, eventually, if we turn all the clocks forward and then we block out the sun outside, the Gremlins will think it's dark outside and gather in the lobby. They're doing a lot of guesswork to figure out where the Gremlins are going to do anything. And so they're going to lead them to the lobby, drop the cloth that makes them think it's nighttime, and then, burn them all up. But what happens? A storm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So which is darkness and rain, which is not good for these things.
All right. So what's the character arc of Gizmo? What does he do throughout the movie?
He's not featured.
He gets sidelined a lot. I was very aware of that in this. Like, he basically looks cute.
Yeah. Because, again, this is a creature movie. This is a Gremlins movie. This is about them wreaking havoc, and how many different iterations of these creatures can we make?
So it's Gizmo being locked out of the action, literally by the Gremlins, or tortured by the Gremlins.
Yes.
They tie him to a train track. They, they run a toy train into him.
Yeah. He gets a small training montage.
Because why?
Because he saw Rambo earlier, and he was a big fan. Rambo 2.
Yeah, because he liked TV. That was the big thing he took away from the first movie. He liked TV, so he sees Rambo 2.
Yeah, and so he's lifting weights. He's trying to work out. It's not going too well for him, but he does end up saving Kate and Billy's boss from the giant spider.
Yeah, that's what's memorable about it, though. He puts on the little red headband.
He does.
He fashions a bow out of, like a paper clip or something.
Yeah. He fashions a bow out of one of those big paper clips. He's got one of the exploding fire arrows, which is a pencil with a whiteout tube on the end, which he lights on fire and then shoots off. A very inventive movie.
So he becomes a hero, right?
Yes,
saves the day. The horror host.
Right. He ends up like he shares sort of a small sob story earlier. He always wanted to be a journalist. That's what he thought he was going to be. He didn't. And, no one ever expects to end up as dressing as Dracula, being a horror host for 30 years. I mean, who among us? But he always wanted to be an anchor, a journalist. And so that's what he decides to do once he realizes that he has the exclusive inside the building. And so he's interviewing Brain Gremlin and going through all of that and basically giving you the inside story of what's happening inside Clamp HQ.
Yeah. With, I think, is it Gidi Watanabe is also in the movie.
As his photographer, as the overzealous cameraman. Yes. I am the camera. Yes.
And then, Robert Picardo.
Robert Picardo ends up in love and fucks a gremlin. Is where we end up with him in this. It's the only surviving gremlin. Technically, is the female gremlin, the one female gremlin I think we get, because these things don't need to produce, so we only get one female. But
that is where the movie, so it goes off the rails in like a good way, like several times. One deals with the female gremlin.
Yes. Who gets a whole dance scene at a certain point? We'll get there.
Well, no, I mean that's
Well, actually, there's a whole there's a musical number. Like it's even commented on by the people watching. It's like, and I think we're watching now. These creatures are putting together what would be called a musical number. And we get New York. We get a whole
it's like a Bubsy Berkeley
yes.
We get everyone coming down, and there's whole murals of characters, and they rise out of the floor, and they look like dames from the 1920s who are about to sing you a song at the local club. Like there's a couple film noir elements within this movie as well, because the redhead Margaret Bloodstone talks like someone from the front page. Mm-hmm. She's like a New York gal from the 1930s.
Yeah.
But when this musical number happened, Sean said, what I think kind of encapsulates most of it is you said maybe they had too much money. And that's exactly how I felt at that moment is how did we get here and why are we here?
Right. Wow, you tripled the budget. Maybe you shouldn't. Because we got a lot going on.
I mean, they're just doing they're throwing everything.
Right. They looked at the rest of the crew and just what's a good idea? Shout out anything. We'll do it. And then someone did and we got this.
There is a scene. And so it depends on if you saw this movie for the first time on home video or if you saw it in the theater.
Yes.
In the theater, you're watching it and all of a sudden the film breaks. And now that, I had been at movies and films had broken.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever been through an actual film break and had to be gone out of there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I wouldn't say happen with alarming regularity, but
is there a movie you associate with breaking?
Dances with Wolves.
Dances with Wolves.
Yeah,
Mine is Amazing Grace.
Oh,
That's the one that broke for me. It's always a long drama, like a really long movie that, of course, as the biggest reel is going to break. Yep.
And you got to wait while they fix it. And they'll either refund you or.
Yep. Doesn't happen anymore.
Don't know.
No.
It used to be like to go see movies.
Hey, the sink is out on this movie. Come on. I need a refund.
Yeah.
But yeah, it gets stuck in the projector, and then the bulb is so bright that it burns a frame and snaps the film, and they got to go put it back together. So
In the
it
meantime,
looks like that is
puppets and
happening. The film breaks, and you're like, oh shit. And then, it turns out it's still a part of the movie, right? The Gremlins are fucking around. And then there's like a cameo. Oh, this is where I think Kenneth, I just said his name, from The Thing, is the projectionist who comes down. Paul Bartel.
Gotcha.
Who famously is eating Raoul, but we always say it's him and Mary Warrenov are always in like Chopping Mall.
Yeah.
Whenever we see it, it's
The
always
couple
Paul Bartel.
together.
Yes.
But he's there, and I think it's Brenda, what's her name from The Howling, is a patron who comes out and is like, there's gremlins all over they've broken into the projection room.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'll fix this for you. He goes into the theater and finds Hulk Hogan.
Yes.
Yeah.
In full Hulkamania gear. Like, there's no doubt this man is Hulk Hogan. It's not like he's just wearing a normal t-shirt. It's like the bandana, the tank top, the whole thing.
Yeah, we are not surprised.
No.
And the Gremlins have broken the original film, put on a stag film.
Yeah.
For right now, which is not what happens in the home video version, but in the theatrical release, they put on a stag film, and then Hulk Hogan threatens them to put Gremlins 2 back on.
And talks directly to the audience.
Yes.
But if you saw this on tape,
Yes.
they mimicked in the exact same scene. They mimicked like a tape,
Digital.
getting corrupted or whatever.
Right. The tracking's off. They're like, there's the TV snow. They are digital versions of that, doing the same thing, making funny faces. And then it turns into Chisholm, starring John Wayne, in which the bad guys are gremlins. So it's a Western with gremlins.
So these are like new.
I'd rather watch that, I think. I want to see the Western with Gremlins. I think I'd rather watch that movie.
And John Wayne just plugging them. And somebody doing John
Someone
Wayne's
doing a bad
voice.
John Wayne.
Very
voice.
bad. Very bad. Okay, but I have a theory. Okay, and this room, I've been thinking about this because that trailer for Jimmy just dropped about Jimmy Stewart, and everyone's talking about KJ Appa's. I think Jimmy Stewart just has one of those voices that anyone else doing it sounds stupid.
Yeah.
If that makes sense? I think John Wayne's the same way.
distinct.
I think you can't do a good John Wayne impression and make it sound good. I just don't think you
Because it
can.
sounds like he is doing some
Exactly.
kind of, like, affected thing already.
Exactly. So it's just not. Some of them are impossible, and those two stick out to me as being like not doable.
Yeah. But weird interlude, to happen.
Yeah.
The movie just goes crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. We
the-
lose our main characters for a little while and just go nuts with the Gremlins.
The Fettermans have a arc.
Yeah.
Because Murray has been like, you're crazy, but Gremlins, because he was always talking about the Gremlins, what is he, a veteran or something, right, in World War II or something? He was like the Gremlins.
He's a vet, and then he's an electrician, I think, in the first one, which is why he's talking about gremlins. He basically names them in the first one because he's talking about a gremlin in the system and whatnot that he's had to deal with and everything.
So he gets to take down the gargoyle gremlin, the bat gremlin.
Takes down Bat Gremlin. People are constantly rushing through police barriers. The police in this movie suck. 'Cause everyone's rushing through a police barrier because they know what to do. But he finds his way back into the building through that secret curbside plant that comes out of the street.
I finally get to use my secret escape.
Which is fun.
Yeah.
So he gets back in the building. He saves Billy from the goofy dentist who's about to drill his face off. And then he ends up in the final plan at the end where he's got to turn the hose on the gremlins. What?
Well, this is because the initial plan to put up the big screen over the sheet over the front lobby has failed because the sun goes away because of the storm that comes in.
Yep.
So if they drop the cloth, it's not going to be sunlight streaming in. So Billy is like, okay, we got a new plan. Now Gizmo has saved Phoebe Cates and the other woman.
Yep.
And so all of our team is together. And it's like, okay, spray the hose into the lobby where these thousands of gremlins are.
Yep.
And they will multiply.
But we have a gremlin on hold. which we will unleash onto this crowd.
So what does that mean?
It means they're one of the gremlins drank the electricity solution back in the lab and turned it into straight electricity, and they caught him in the phone system on hold. And so he is forever tortured listening to hold music, which they turned on, and he went, huh? Which is very funny.
It is pretty funny. That's a good one.
But so he's been stuck in the phone line system, and they're going to let him loose on all the other gremlins, and then we get our big melt.
Which is pretty good and pretty gnarly, right?
Yeah, it's good. All the design of these monsters, and throughout the movie, they all look fantastic, and especially when they're melting.
Yeah.
I always love when they're just pouring everything onto the ground. They always look good.
That's an 80s style glop, that green, melting.
They're good with the glop, because there's even glop for comedic scenes in this where they're, when you're talking about the shredder that's in the desk.
Yeah. Oh, that was so gross.
And they're just like, something happened here, and then it pops up and then pops back down. It's like the timing on this.
Yeah.
Everyone knew what they were doing, and they did it very well in this. But they all melt.
That strategy, that wins, and then we find out
They're singing New York, New York, and then our brain gremlin.
Yep, because they want to get out. They want to have a society. They want to go on an experience.
They
and
do.
we're like, oh no,
everything you want, we want as well. Yes, full dental and medical. These are the things. Yes, just wants to be part of that society.
The opportunity to get a low interest loan.
They've already gone to capitalism already. They skipped right past socialism and just said no, capitalism.
Right. No, it's very funny, his dialogue throughout this, because it's complex, but it's just like, we want the same societal structures that you do.
But this one is going to end with a happy ending. This time Gizmo gets to go home with Billy and Kate. They're going to take care of him after this. And
I thought you meant happy ending, like Robert Picardo gets the fucking gremlin.
Oh, yeah.
Not for him. Yeah, because that's the scene.
I think it is for him.
He seems okay with it. Yeah.
He seems to end up in a place that he's okay with.
He's trapped up on one of the highest floors, and Clamp's like, we can't come up there and get you for it. It's going to be a little while.
Right.
And he's
covered in lipstick kisses.
Yeah. He's like, oh no, I've been tormented by this infatuated female gremlin.
It's very funny. There's about a 5-minute making of on this Blu-ray, and Robert Picardo, it just cuts to him at some point doing an interview on it, and it's the part where he's got all the kisses on his face, so when it cuts to him, it's very funny.
Yeah.
But the whole behind-the-scenes thing is very funny because it acts like the Gremlins took over the actual making of the movie. But it also cuts to Gizmo being a full-on diva. They say like all the cast going, the Gremlins took over, they made everything horrible, they went nuts, and then it comes back to Gizmo going, all that's bullshit, and he says bullshit, and he says all this is, and it bleeps it out in the subtitles for it. All that's bullshit. This is all lies. A PA comes up to him and gives him coffee, and he slaps it out of his hand. He curses at him, and I'm just like, holy shit, what are they doing? This is great. It's real funny. So I recommend watching that making of for this, because they really go for it.
This must have been like the 50th anniversary of Looney Tunes or something that explains why there was such a, the opening logo, animation with Daffy and Bugs. And then I saw Chuck Jones and the original voices for those characters. Porky Pig, I think, shows up at one point. But Daffy Duck appears like during the end credit crawl.
Yeah.
He's like poking out and watching and commenting on the credits as they go by.
Yep.
And then chastising you for staying and watching this long.
Why are you still here?
Yeah. Don't you people have homes? I thought that was funny.
It is very funny. I like it. Little things like that. It's all about the little things. Gremlins too.
Well, I guess we've reached a point where we have now seen Gremlins 2, and so the big question is whether we would recommend it to you listening at home. I'm curious to hear Michaela's take if this is her first time watching it. But first, we're going to read some of your mail, and in order to do that, we're going to have to summon our mailman. Igor, bring us the mail.
Masters, the mail. I've got the mail. So many letters. Our followers are rising.
Why, thank you, Igor. A hefty one this week.
There was a mention of Igor.
There was an Igor mention. He was name checked. Didn't he say something like, "Oh, I'm just a lonely old man with a sad puppet named Igor or something, and we were like, hey.
Only old horror host with a sad puppet named Igor.
Yeah, we all felt personally attacked by that one, huh? Yeah, it was like, wow.
We truly did.
He didn't mean
It's not
you,
such a bad
Igor.
life.
Yeah.
Well, again, we should let the good folks at home know how they can participate on this interactive portion of our show by following along on Facebook,
Facebook.com/Saturday Night Freak Show.
on X,
At Sat Freak Show.
and on Instagram at Saturday Night Freak Show. Yes, you can also email us at
Saturday Night Freak Show at yahoo.com.
about tonight's movie, Gremlins 2. We got a very full, hefty
All right.
mailbag here tonight.
Yay!
Mike Miller writes in and says, I have a core memory of watching this one taped off TV long before I ever saw the original. After watching it as an adult, I appreciate the massive swing they took, making this a satire of TV networks, corporations, and stuffing it full of pop culture references. Going from a fantasy monster horror movie set at Christmas to this was a risk, and I personally love it for that. I also love the many great character actors who pop up in the incredible practical effects work from Rick Baker.
There you
I
go.
won't say it's quite in the league of the original, but they're such different movies that even comparing them is difficult.
There's my review. That's it.
Sean Ford says, do you think Hulk Hogan should have had a bigger role?
No.
And how awesome would it have been if there was Andre the Giant-sized gremlin getting the big boot, body slammed, and then hit with the leg drop?
They could have gone that way. And made a really large gremlin.
That would have been really funny.
That would have been really funny.
Yeah. Just one, though.
Just one.
Just one,
Oh, no,
yeah.
We only need one.
Just in the theater. Just
Yeah.
Could have done.
No more. We don't need any more. We got exactly as much Hulk Hogan as we needed to get in this movie. Because I don't know if you've ever seen No Holds Barred. but I
Oh,
don't
we
wanna
watched
see
it on
any-
this show.
I don't want to see any whole movies of.
Yeah. Stay
of the
tuned
Hulk
for Mr. Nanny. Is that what it's called? Mr.
watch
Nanny?
Suburban
Can we not watch
Commando?
Suburban Commando?
Yeah, that too.
Wait, was it Mr.
Mr. Nanny is another one. Yeah.
Mr.
Suburban
Nanny.
Commando.
Yeah.
Pat Hatfield writes in and says, this one, in my opinion, is far superior to the original. I guess I just like the completely wacky, off-the-rails unpredictability of it. I hope any more in the series, if there are any more, follow this model.
We'll see.
Michael Whitaker says, even as a kid, I really did like this movie, and I know there are some people who probably consider this in the same vein as Texas Chainsaw 2. No. But in both of these situations, I feel like the director got a chance to try something different, and I actually like the result. It's weird, it's funny, it breaks the fourth wall in a non-spoof movie. It absolutely has a sense of humor about itself, and we need more sequels like this.
Yeah, I do like its self-aware qualities.
Yes.
I think that's a good choice because otherwise you're just remaking the original, right? So
Yeah, but sometimes it goes bad.
it goes too far
Sure,
sometimes in
sure,
this movie.
yeah.
I
Not in
think,
this, but
It can go
yeah,
bad,
it can.
but again,
I think the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 is unfair because that movie's just unwatchable in my opinion. It's so annoying. This movie, I get where they're coming from, but I don't think it's as extreme of a jump as Gremlins 1 to Gremlins 2 as Texas Chainsaw 1 to 2.
Agreed.
Travis Legler says, I understand some people like the first one more. It's kind of like Monster Squad. Kids can watch it, but there are some scary moments. Gremlins 2 is more fun as a movie. It's self-aware. It has some creepy stuff in it, like the Spider Gremlin. Has great comedy with the talking gremlin. Love the Batman nod and the flying gremlin. This is on par with Return of Swamp Thing.
There you go. We had a good time with that.
The boy with the Jason tattoo says, just my opinion, but Gremlins 2 is probably the best sequel ever made, hands down, exclamation mark.
That's a bold statement.
Heresy.
I love it so much. I have a Greta Gremlin. That's the name of the,
Greta.
the female
Okay,
Gremlin. I have a Greta Gremlin. She's displayed next to my Chucky and Tiffany dolls, and I also have one of the little baby Gremlins. And here's a picture. Oh, he sent a picture. And
nice.
Merry
Nice.
Christmas.
Oh, thank
Merry
you.
Christmas.
Aaron,
dolls.
Don Murphy's mom, says,
Are we
I'm
sure?
probably in the minority, but I absolutely adore this movie and watched it recently with my new fiance, and we laughed so hard.
Aw. Love that.
Congratulations
Yes.
on watching the movie
And new fiance. Yeah, that's awesome.
Simon Carter says, is it superior to the first? Personally, I prefer number one, as I really like the Christmas setting, but a lot of people prefer number two.
Understand.
And the Kryptonian Orphan says, great choice, gang. One of the better sequels out there. It holds up. I just hope that for the love of Igor, that when the next installment comes out, it's not riddled with freaking CGI Gizmo or CGI Gremlins. Practical puppetry is always better.
It will be.
It will be.
To tell you, it's
will
already
be,
happened.
yeah.
It's a TV show that I just found
Yeah.
out about tonight.
Well, I mean, that's a whole animated TV show, but you would hope if they make another one, they would realize that the entirety of the charm of the first two is the fact that it's all practical. almost front to back. You would hope.
You would
But
hope.
who knows? In this day and age, they'll feed it into an AI generator, and we'll get what we get.
Like I said, best case scenario is Grogu and Mandalorian, where it's like puppets
Yeah.
most of the time, and
Yeah.
then a little bit of CGI. But I don't think it's going that way. But
We shall
if
see.
it does happen,
Last week we watched a movie called Terrifier 3, and Stig's Weird says, I got around to watching this in the holiday spirit, I suppose. Not that bad as everyone said it was. I'm not a big Terrifier fan. I do love the album Terrifier by the great grindcore band Pig Destroyer, though.
Wow.
I've heard of that band. Yep.
But I have to say, even if they didn't have the Sienna, if they didn't have the Sienna character as a nemesis for Art the Clown, these movies would not nearly be as good. That actress definitely kicks ass in these movies.
She's
She's
good.
great.
She's good. We love her. Yeah, he does need a nemesis. Yeah, like I said, I can't imagine if he didn't. If she wasn't in those movies.
I just watched the Boulay Brothers Holiday of Horrors special, and David Dasmalchian directed a segment, and Lauren Lavera was the star of it.
Oh.
And it's a short. It's really short, and it was really good. But I was like, that's how you know he's well liked in that community, because she signed up to do this very short, and the whole episode is 40 minutes, and there's 4 stories, so every short is like 3-4 minutes tops.
Beautiful.
I'm surprised he hasn't been in a Terrifier movie yet.
He'll be in the next one.
Everyone-
Yeah.
The fourth one will be the big bash that sends it
Yep.
off, and everyone will be
Yep.
in that.
Well, as a counterpoint, David Brown writes in and says, I'm 58 and I've loved horror movies since I was a kid, but I am no fan of Terrifier. I do not mind gore, but I, like Sean, want more from my horror films than just gore set pieces. I'm looking forward to your podcast on Gremlins 2. It's a definite step up from the Terrifier
Oh
franchise.
yeah, absolutely. It's a nice palate cleanser, I would say. After that,
that's what- I went for it. I'm just like, we need something that's a little,
Yeah.
a little more not so Terrifier.
All right, so we appreciate all of you writing in. We really do.
We do. We love it.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, man. Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
I know this will come
And
out
Happy New
afterward,
Year.
and
Yep.
Happy New Year. So.
Mhm.
So hopefully you got what you wanted for Christmas. Please remember to go to our web.
Go vote.
Go vote on our social medias.
Go vote.
And now we're going to go around the table and tell you what we thought of tonight's movie, Gremlins 2, starting with,
Colin, what did you think of Gremlins 2?
I liked it.
Hey, good.
I always liked it. I guess I liked it when I saw it. It is such a departure from the original movie that they both, it's one of those things, right? There's certain films that do that where the first one seems like a classic,
Yep.
but the second one doesn't seem to be competing with it.
Yeah, it's like
in
a whole entity of itself.
space.
Yes.
And I think that's the problem with a lot of sequels. It feels like you're just watching the same movie retold.
Yep.
I mean, I guess you're watching the same. It feels so the atmosphere, the characterization, the tone is so radically different that it feels like a complete new standalone movie. That's why I think everybody is saying this is one of their favorite sequels.
Yes.
Like Aliens, right? Aliens doesn't feel anything like Alien. It's like, there's another example. I really liked it when I first saw it. I really liked it on this rewatch. I hadn't seen it in probably 30 years, right?
Wow.
I mean,
Yeah, that long?
Yeah, so there were little bits and pieces here and there that I forgot about, the scenes at their home,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But I mean, most of my memory of it is very clear. And watching it again, I was like, this is pretty good. We sat there and watched it, and the thing, I guess, that I remember my theatrical experience with it. And I remember the laughter. And we just kind of watched it, tonight. Sean and I have seen it before, I guess. We weren't really reacting, but I think it is a very funny movie.
It is a very funny movie. Yeah. There was giggles throughout, and it's more like oh yeah, that did happen. It's more like a remembrance of it happening again to us.
But I don't know, it's like, would you recommend it to someone, a new viewer? And then it really is like, of a certain age who could appreciate, the callbacks, the cameos. I saw Jerry Goldsmith, the composer of the, showed up in there at one point. We saw Dick Butkus showed up in there.
Yeah, what the hell?
So it's like, I don't think that will register to newer viewers. And I think if you're of a certain age, you saw it. So, it's one of those things where it's hard to, recommend. I think that it's very fun. If you've seen the first one, you have to see this one. I think both of them are, even if you look at it as just like the colossal amount of work that Rick Baker Studios must have done. I mean, like from that angle alone, in practical puppetry, effects work, and splatter, and I mean, it's gobstop smacking, and a pinnacle, I think, of that type of work. I'm going to say I recommend it for that. Michaela, what'd you think?
First time watching this, I will say I do think the poster is a really good poster and delivers exactly what this movie is. Yep. It's like big business boss gremlin in a big skyrise tower. I'm like, got it, and that really is what the movie is. So I do love when a poster like that gives you the vibe without being like giving away the whole movie or being super literal. Like, I don't know, that it's really good. Well done. Love it. I don't think Critter movies are for me. I don't think I enjoy I don't like the Critters movies. I don't like like I said, I just didn't grow up watching Gremlins. I don't really have strong feelings either way about it. I don't like Small Soldiers. I don't like Ghoulies. I don't like any of the little guys that like. Okay. No, I just don't. It just doesn't do anything for me. I don't know why. I don't have.
You said you didn't grow up.
Yeah, with it, so I don't have negative feelings. I just don't have feelings. But I do think it is a technical feat, and I think that like the character design and how detailed and how good they look up close, like the texture of the reptilian skin and how wet it looks, and like, and I love that they gave them different looks and different personalities. It honestly is like a creative professional seems like a dream movie to work on because you get to just do whatever it feels like.
Can you imagine how much fun the Creature Shop had making all these guys?
I think it was more fun for them than it is for people watching it, to be honest. I think this is a movie made for creators to enjoy and get things out of their system and try things and push the envelope. And sometimes I think that comes at the expense of the audience's experience a little bit, because I think, Sean, you said that like what we want from a Gremlin movie is like you see cute Mogwai and then you see what kind of mischief they're going to get into. And like, to me, that's not enough for a movie. I guess to me, that's not enough to interest me in movies. Like, so am I just supposed to watch them do like hijinks over and over and then that's it? Because that kind of seems like that's all this movie is. It's just like, well, what if they had a musical number? Right. Well, what if this is like kind of the vibe of the movie?
I agree. I think that's exactly what this movie is.
And that's like, but why?
Well, how do you feel?
Why am I here? Yeah. What is the point of this movie is kind of where I was like, what's the point? And I guess the point is to just watch them do that stuff. For me, that's not enough. But I also don't have any childhood attachment to this. And like I said, the whole movie, I was like, is this for adults or kids? Or like, is this one of those things where like when you're a kid and you're getting a little bit older and you get to watch a little bit more raunchy stuff because you're getting older, and you're starting to pick up on it, but I don't know. Like, I don't want to not recommend it, but I also didn't particularly enjoy it. But I think a lot of other people, I don't know. Because I kind of feel like if you like this movie, you've already seen it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know that, like Colin, I agree. I don't know that like a new audience, because like, I feel like I'm
the new audience.
Yeah, and I'm not young. Like, I'm an older person. Yeah.
That's true.
I'm an older person and I'm still just kind of like, okay. And like, I don't have any attachment to them. I'm going to recommend it like a light recommend, because like it's not a bad movie, and I think as a time capsule it's an amazing movie to watch as a time capsule, and it's fun to watch because everything is real, and that's fun, and that's worth watching because everything is real, and I think you do see the love and the care on the screen, and I think it's worth watching for the technical aspects. So yeah, okay, I'm talking myself into it. I'll recommend it, even though I don't feel anything for it particularly strong one way or another. So I'll recommend it. Sean,
well,
what do you
before
think?
you go,
I was gonna say, there's your focus group for the new Gremlins.
Yeah.
This is how people.
Yeah.
So maybe don't make a new one, but yeah.
But as far as the audience goes, I'm struck by something that I remember, Steven. Like this was because it's an Amblin movie.
Yeah.
Like I heard Steven Spielberg. Back in that time, it was always he was making movies for the kid who like never grew up,
right?
So it feels like that's who it is.
This explains Hook.
Yeah, exactly.
It's you still remember the stuff you loved as a kid, and you want to see it as an adult. That's the audience. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I think you're exactly right. I think great reviews from both of you, Michaela. I see. How you're coming at it, and again, you are thinking the who they'll be aiming for to try and get people to watch a new one should they make it. But it seems like Yeah, it might not be worth it. But anyway, Gremlins 2. I like Colin, it hadn't been 30 years, but it had been a long time since I'd watched this one. And I was eager to get back into it and see like how everyone felt about it, because I love Gremlins. I think but they are, like you said, two definitely different movies and completely different things, it feels like. Gremlins is a great Christmas movie, and the more darkness of it, and the more it feels a little more adult, which I love. I love that this one is it's not a character movie. They're kind of blowing right past all of that. It is, to me, just a creature movie. Let's see, we're going to triple the budget of this, and we're going to see what can we do with the Gremlins. What mischief can we get into on the largest scale possible? Mm-hmm. And I think they pulled it off to a very entertaining effect. Between the Gremlins, the building itself, just its commentary throughout the movie is very funny. I had a real good time. I think the comedy is definitely upped in this. I love all the little jokes. Yeah, it's a fun movie. It's an enjoyable movie. I think it's it's a good direction to go for a sequel like this, or, depending on your sequel, it pulls it off. I had a really fun time with this. I love where they go with the Gremlins, and it is a creature movie. I love a creature feature. I recommend Gremlins 2. I think it's just a fun time. It's different enough from the first one. It's going in a different direction and gives you just a lot of fun. And I think you get more fun out of it if you know the history of the filmmakers and what they're trying to do. I think it's fun on a base level just with creatures. Then once you dig into it, you get to appreciate kind of the more of the inside track on this movie. I recommend Gremlins 2. I think you all should watch it. It's fun. It's a fun movie. Especially after last week, you're going to watch this and be like, holy shit, we can have fun in movies. So yeah, Gremlins 2, recommend.
Well, that is a unanimous recommendation for Gremlins 2 then. So that means by listening to the show, you're contractually obligated to either watch it or give it a rewatch.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Next week, we're not choosing a movie. We're going to tell you.
We're choosing all the movies.
That's right. This is going to be our big year-end episode. We're going to tell you the movies that we thought were our 5 each best
Top
favorites.
5 best and 1 worst.
And the 1 worst movie of the year.
Can't wait.
We always seem to have the most fun with the 1 worst movie of the year.
That's why we can't make the whole episode worst movies, because it'll be 10 hours long.
Yeah. Everyone, I mean, don't make top 10 worst movies of the year list, but like give that one and then just fucking go at it.
Channel